Hey, Snack Pack, snacking here, putting the mentholyptus in your halls, if you know what I mean. Bringing you the exciting conclusion of Noobs on Nepal. Round 3. So we've lost one, 55 to 100. We won one, 100 to 99. And now we're going into the third of these, of this control point match. Just to remind everyone, I played Arisa on map 1, Roadhog on map 2, and now I'm going to pull out the hamster, Mr. Hammond, also known as Wrecking Ball, because Blizzard can't name a character to save its damn life. Also, Curmudgeon has gone to Hanzo. Puzzleface is staying, what is he staying? Junkrat. Lucio, Anna, and then I forget what our other DP or what our other tank switches over to. I think he's starting out as Winston. Also, this is still a sick edition. I'm doing this the same night that I did part 2. So I still have a drippy nose and insomnia. I would love to know why they call a drippy nose post nasal drip, because, well, it's still coming from my nose. It's not post anything. It's from the nasal drip. Hey, Ted, how's it going, big man? Say hi to everyone on YouTube. Yeah, it's a good cat. Big Head Ted, named after Big Head Todd and the Monsters. All you people that weren't around in the 70s and 80s, you can go look that up. All right, so let's go ahead and get this game started. Oh, another thing. This video is going to kind of double as a tip video. I've been wanting to do something on Hammond, so this will give me a chance to talk about what I've learned about Hammond as a gold player, as a low gold player for that matter, just kind of barely hanging out above silver. Like other mobility tanks, when you choose to engage is critical, and I will point that out in the video. So this video may be a little longer than some of my others, so hang out. I don't monetize anyway. I don't have enough subscribers, so just deal with it, folks. It's not like you've got ads, right? Here we go.
But no one acknowledges it that I said it. Suckers.
Oh, I missed my jump.
I don't even think I said Winston. I think I said Roadhog.
Okay, so you cannot sustain as Hammond on a point by yourself against the other team. You can, however, have your grappling hook to get the hell out, which is why you'll see Hammond kind of sit there on point just to kind of draw your fire and then run away. I don't like doing that. One of the things I've learned as Hammond is do not engage unless you're pretty sure of what the enemy has. Now, I will say this map is very Hammond friendly because you got a big pillar right in the middle of the damn point that you can grapple onto and swing around and do all kinds of nasty things inside this little shrine type area. This little yeah, and then anyway, move on. Okay, so they have a Roadhog and a Rhine as tanks. You can see the McCree. Night Prime has stayed McCree the whole time. You can see their Lucio. I think they've got the same. There's their Mercy kind of doubled up with their tank over there. See, you can actually even kind of see her. I think that's funny. It looks like the wings are sticking out of the back of Reinhardt. That ain't right. I don't think they've changed their comp since the last round, which surprises me because I think I would have. I don't. Hog is good. Hog is good here, but he doesn't have the killing power, the instant killing power, because you don't get the environmentals here. Lucio is good for getting them to point, but both sides had a Lucio, so that kind of evened out. The positioning I saw of our team was okay. We were all back here by this door. firing in. That's okay. And because of the extreme speed, I'm up here trying to give the enemy a hard time. Unfortunately, it looks like our Lucio is hooked. So that may mean trouble for him.
Mercy down.
Lucio's
Down.
Genji slept to the right. Genji slept to the right.
Follow up, follow up.
There's a third
Thank
one.
you.
Reload, rip retreat.
Ooh, I stayed.
Did you see I went in with somebody there? Right. And it took, there were 3 of us focusing that hog down. That Anna did a great job of getting him purple. I love Anna's anti-nade against Roadhog. I think Anna's one of Roadhog's biggest threats because she can stop his heal and give you a chance to burst him down.
Pulled that to his face.
And that gives us first point.
If y'all back up a little bit, Lucio and Hanzo, I can heal you.
So they brought a Pharah.
Can I get a bit of heals myself?
They wasted res.
Enemy in my
I don't know that they wasted res. I understand what Warfire is saying. They used res. They saved that McCree 5 seconds to keep him there with the team. I didn't even see in the kill feed how he got. Oh, that must have been when the Lucio went forward to take him out. So, when you engage as Hammond, you've got to decide what you're trying to do. And then, you've also got to know where you want to go. So, I have choices here. I swung through to disrupt the team, and I hit the majority of their team, getting the knockbacks. Now I can pile drive straight down into whoever's here, probably activate my shield. The only problem with activating your shield is that it pulls you out of ball form. And Blizzard, I hate that. Right? If you wanna, you know, give Hammond a tiny buff, let him use his shields without pulling himself out of ball form. It's just annoying. So I can pile drive. That's option 1. Option 2 is to go ahead and escape around this side or through this door. Either one. They can't stop me. No, there is no one on this team that can catch up to me and stop me except maybe the hog. And even then, I can most likely get away because my grappling hook will be up by the time he can hook me and drag me in. Obviously, option 3 is to continue to run and just swirl around the elephant. That's an option. So, do I pile drive and run, or do I just run? I can do either. And my goal in this engagement was simple harassment, and I have achieved that. So, I popped my shield there just to be sure. It's one thing about Hammond. I'm glad I popped the shield. Because I was able to take that pin. And I found out that the enemy does not get ult charge by shooting your shields.
He slept.
Around it, right?
Ryan's really low.
All right, so I deny the front door.
Get in there.
Oh my god, Nano Boost does the mines too?
I don't think so.
Oh, I don't know. They showed that I got an assist, but maybe that's because you're already damage.
You want a wrecking ball? Oh, never mind, you're just going for health.
The reason I went ahead and blew past our Lucio there to grab the health pack is at 15 health, it would take Lucio forever to get me up to 300. It's easier for me just to grab the pack real quick and come back because I'm so fast. I can't overstate the mobility that you have as Wrecking Ball. Now, realistically, I probably should have died, but I got lucky with the McCree stun that there wasn't enough focused fire to take me out.
You help with this Pharaoh.
McCree's go.
Hi.
McCree on point.
Also, when you're Anna, I do not recommend that you nano your Wrecking Ball unless Hammond is about to die and you're trying to save his life. And the reason I don't recommend that you do that is because his clip is too short. You're going to lose half of your nano, or maybe a little less, to reloads. Because with the nano boost, you fire so fast that those 50 rounds that he has are just gone. And they don't do enough damage to take anybody out anyway. I think our Anna, and don't get me wrong, our Warfire is doing a great job, but I don't think I would have given the Hammond the nano boost. Now, he might have been aiming for somebody else and got me by accident. The rest of the team, by the way, is doing a great job doing their roles, because we've discussed this before, and I'm gonna discuss it again on this channel. What is the role of your tank? All right, there's three roles: make space, bust open fortifications, and protect the team. With Hammond, as I've said before in another video, Hammond literally makes space by knocking the enemy out of the way. That's one of the ways that he makes space, right? The other way that he makes space is he disrupts the team enough that they're forced to retreat. So with Hammond, when you engage with Hammond, you got to think about what you're trying to do. Are you trying to just harass the enemy? Because you certainly can do that. Or are you trying to physically move somebody out of the way so that your team can move in, right? Now, most of our team is dead here, so I'm on the harassment and get the hell out phase.
Nice.
That was a good bubble by their Zarya saving that Lucio, because I had him.
Lucio trap.
Y'all have no healers.
Try to keep stalling so you can get more percentage.
I just stall.
Well, when someone says we have no healers, I'm getting out.
Let's bring it to one fight.
Come here. Hammond.
Watching your back.
Give me ult charge.
You're welcome to it. I didn't kill her, but I will say it is fun as Hammond to swing into a Pharah.
Alright, no ults. Let them have it if we have to.
Don't use
Okay.
any ults.
That time I didn't get away.
Yeah. Alright, let's regroup, and then we'll go in.
We got
There's a
the
McCree on me.
Back out.
Ow.
Okay. So unless something goes really, really wrong, look at the score at this point in the game, right? We're 98% to their 9%. We've held the point the whole time. We've had excellent positioning. I've been able to harass as the Wrecking Ball. They've picked up a Zarya from the Roadhog. They still have Ryan. They still have McCree. And they've picked up a Pharah as their other DPS. We have Winston still. I switched to Wrecking Ball, and we've got a Hanzo. That's a tough comp to say which comp is better. Our team is certainly more mobile. We don't have the brawl presence. But I think the key here is that we're not attempting to brawl. We've got enough range that we can, especially with the Hanzo, we can kill people with poke pretty easy. Well, not easy, but we can kill people with poke if we have to, and then go in with the advantage. And I think that's part of the reason that we're winning this.
Just back up.
Okay. I posted this next play because it happens to work out, and I'm going to go through it piece by piece as part of the whole Hammond. I want to explain how Hammond works, part of the video. So The team is massing over here, right? You've got this entryway, you know, and this kind of arch with the elephant statue, and the team is massing up here. So they're here, getting ready to make a charge. And they've just called for a group up. Unfortunately, by the time they called for the group up, again, Hammond is so fast, I was already on a flank. And I don't flank with tanks very often, but Hammond is one of the few that you can really get a good flank if you work with it. So by this point, I already have decided that I'm committed. Although I guess I'm technically not. I could have backed out. I chose not to. So I've got some options here. Right? I can come in here. Oops. I don't like that. Let's go back to the pencil. I can come in here. I can swing around this end and knock them. In the end, it will either knock them forward out of the sanctuary or toward me this way. So this is how your enemies are going to be scattered if I swing around counterclockwise around that post. My other option is to come in. I think I go around this way, but maybe not. Grapple here and swing around that way, which will scatter the enemies into this wall or out this doorway. Right? So the enemies are either going to go out this doorway or into this wall. I chose... Well, let's just see what I chose. After I, you know, pick the right mouse. There we go.
Taxi back down. No, don't go in yet.
Okay. So I swung around. McCree has missed his flash, right, which is key. But the entire enemy team, I got very lucky on that, because when I swung around, right, I swung around this way. When I swung around, it pushed their entire team into this area, right? And I went ahead and dropped mines since I, you know, had them and they were all bunched up. And left me an opening to get out. So that part worked out very, very well, and I was able to harass. But every once in a while, whoops.
Come out.
Hey everyone, how's it going? That's bad.
Nice.
Have it if we have to.
Don't use any ults.
Well, what have I done?
Alright, let's regroup, and then we'll go in.
Okay, let's do the play again.
Back out.
Where was I?
I'm reloading.
This is just clean up here.
Heyo. Lucio low. Mercy rezzing.
Oh shit, yeah.
Really?
So,
nice.
right there. Okay. So my apologies, everyone. Let's pick this back up where I accidentally hit the wrong button. Here's the flank going around. Okay. See how I hit 2. The Lucio is behind. Oh, wow. See, I didn't catch this the first time I did this. The Lucio is behind. The tank has barely been touched. Mercy is barely touched. These two take the brunt of the wrecking ball. There's the pile drive. So the Zarya got beat up pretty bad. And now you get the hell out.
Oh, nice. Go. Go.
Okay, well maybe that was a good push.
Or you can kill 4 people in a row.
Oh shit, yeah, they're gonna be good.
Really? So awesome.
Heyo. Lucio low. Mercy resing.
Okay, did you see the long hang time? I did that because I knew the Reinhardt was coming up and I wanted to give him time to get in front of me.
There's just enough freedom left. I'm reloading.
Now it's just clean up.
Nice.
Ooh,
Nice.
okay.
Well done, everybody. All right, so I apologize for the technical issues there and hitting the wrong button. I probably won't edit it out because that means I got to edit this audio too, and I'm way too sick and tired for that shit. So I end the match with 29 eliminations, but look at my hero damage. My hero damage was bronze hero damage when I walked into this match. And now it's silver. And that's when your enemy has to funnel into chokes. And you can take advantage of that as Hammond. You can do just a ton of damage that way. And I stayed on point a lot. Just because with the McCree, you have to be careful engaging the enemy team on their terms, right? If there's just a couple of them, then as Hammond, you can go out, you can take the stun, right? You can still do enough damage to make it worth it. But with the McCree on their team, I need to be close to my team to get the heals for when I get stunned. And that's what I mean with Hammond. You've got to be very careful. You should know what the enemy has before you pile drive into them, right? Before you go smashing into the enemy, I would make sure that they don't have a Brig or a McCree or a Junkrat. Junkrat traps are the worst when you're rolling around as Hammond, right? When your grappling hook is on cooldown and you're trying to get away from something, that Junkrat trap will stop you dead in your tracks. And all you can do is sit there while you get destroyed. It's just an awful feeling as Hammond. So that's one of the biggest things I've learned. Make sure you know what's on the enemy team before you engage. And then when you do engage, have an idea of what you're trying to achieve, right? So have an idea of if you're just trying to push the enemy around, if so you're trying to move them around to make that space, or if you're planning on pile driving and doing some sustain. And I don't recommend you do that if the rest of your team isn't there to support you, because you cannot take on the entire enemy team as Hammond. You won't survive. It doesn't take much to take a Hammond down, even with the huge health pool that he's got. If you're getting focused by 6 players, you won't make it. Also, Hammond is one of the most underpowered tanks as well, underpowered characters, period, for damage. But as I said before, what is the job of a tank? Make space, break fortifications, protect the team. And Hammond can do 2 of those very well. The third one, if you're going to protect anybody on the team, then you have to face tank. And what I mean by that is you have to take the damage, right? Because you don't have a big Reinhardt shield or a defense matrix or a bubble or whatever. So like Roadhog, you've just got to face tank if you're going to protect something. So that job is tougher for Hammond. But you can make space all day long with Hammond very well. The problem with Hammond is most teams don't understand how he creates his space, right? Because he doesn't create the space by killing things. He creates a space by knocking them out of the way. And the team that you play with needs to be ready to move in and exploit that momentary confusion that the enemy team has when you pull through. And that coordination, kind of like Sombra, is what makes Hammond so hard to integrate into a team, is that coordination isn't there yet for most teams, right? Because usually Hammond is used as a stall, and he can do more than that, but the team has got to be coordinated, and most of them aren't. So hopefully he'll get some tweaks. I don't think he needs a rework. I'd like to see maybe a little more damage put on him, maybe a little bigger clip. I would like to see you be able to use your shields when you're not in ball, or sorry, I want to see your shields be able to be used without pulling you out of ball form. I think all of those would be tweaks that could be made to Hammond without making him overpowered and without requiring a rework on him. Because I don't think he needs it. I just think he needs some tweaks, and he'll be great. So, anyway, we pull this out. We pulled together as a team. Everyone did their job in the last round. Positioning. The only positioning comment I have is our Anna and or Hanzo, instead of being on point, could have potentially served us better if they would have gone high ground and taken that high ground. But that's it's kind of more of a plat level, I think, kind of game. You see that where people will take those high grounds up into either side of the shrine. So, I mean, that's the only positional thing I can say. For the enemy team, the same. The McCree especially probably could have been served better on high ground than behind that Rhine shield. And no one really used the side vestibules or whatever the hell they are with the megas. And I don't know why, because that worked out very well for me. Obviously, I got the triple kill and play of the game. So, yeah, that's it. Victory for us. I'm going to go take some NyQuil and see if I can go to sleep. Snacking out.